Hey guys, I'm back up at the cabin here today. It's early May, so everything is starting to turn green. It's a nice sunny day, so I'm going to take this opportunity to go over the solar setup a little bit more. So we'll start with the panels. So there are 400-watt panels. I got these off of Amazon, so it came as a kit. Came with an inverter, a charge controller, which I replaced both of those ultimately anyways. But yeah, we'll start with the panels here. So I made this stand. They're facing south here. You have an angle on them so that the snow will shut off in the wintertime. So we're in Ontario, in Canada here, so we get quite a bit of snow. And sometimes you have to come out and brush them off, especially if it's wet snow. It'll stick a bit. So on the back here, we have the connections. So you can see they're all connected here. And they go to this weatherproof junction box there. And to this cable. Down, and then this is buried. So I believe this is, I think it's 10 gauge. And it's rated to be buried. So that goes down, and then it comes all the way down here and to the back here. So this actually goes into the wall. This is the washroom on this side. And then over here is the grounding plate. So the entire system has to be grounded by a copper wire. And you have the choice of either using a plate or a metal stake. So there's quite a bit of stone around here, so it's easier for me to bury the plate because it doesn't have to go as deep. So that comes down here. It's about here, and that's buried. I think it was maybe 4 feet deep. So again, with this whole video, you guys need to check your own regulations, right? Because this setup is what we have, but you're gonna have to double check, do some research, and then make sure that yours is compliant. So yeah, so the power comes in through the back here. You can't see it. It's in there behind the wall. Goes up this side, and everything is set up here. So I usually have this cover on it. I took this off for the video, so you can see there's the charge controller. The power comes in from the panels there, so you can see the inline fuse. So I have a couple inline fuses. So there's that one coming into the charge controller, and then there's another one coming out to the batteries. Here's the charge controller. So this I upgraded just because the other one that came with the system, it just wasn't really working very well, so I replaced it. So you can see that middle number there, so it says 100%. So that's how we gauge the system. Come up here, look, I can see what the batteries are charged up to. So these are two AGM, so they're gel batteries, which means they don't need to be vented, which is perfect for in here. They're 12 volt and they're connected in parallel. And then I have this inverter. So the inverter allows me to convert the power so that it can just be regular, like, outlet power. So this line here goes down to a breaker panel, which I'll show you in a second. So that's a 4,000 watt inverter. So a lot of people wouldn't need something that size. Originally I got it because I thought I was gonna do an induction cooktop, and then realized that it wasn't really feasible because although I might have enough power at the time, it would take too long to replace the power on the batteries. So we ended up going with propane. So if I was gonna change anything, which I am gonna do before next winter, is just add another battery. So in the summertime, this is perfect. You can see the panels out there getting a lot of sun. It does everything we need it to do. So what it does is it powers these lights up here. There's another light down there. There's a light in the washroom. And then our mini fridge. And then the outlet, so whatever you're charging your phone or whatever. So it does all that, but in the wintertime, the days are shorter and they're cloudier. So you might have a few days that goes by where you won't actually get a charge. And that's why you want to have a battery bank that can last long enough to get through those days. So this inverter comes with a remote. So this is how I keep the system off. The remote is that white cable there, and then everything else goes down underneath here. So that's the power. So right now everything's off, and then if I want to turn it on, I hit this. So there you can see that's turned on. And all the switches are off, so nothing's turned on yet. But you can see that there's power to the panel now, which is down here. And that's how I have everything wired up in here. So I'll show you that. So again, the wires are just coming in up top here. So it's a 60 amp Schneider panel. So these breakers all came with it. So I have a 20, that one I have to the kitchen. So a lot of this stuff is excessive, like you might not need it. I had it just because it came with the system. You just gotta make sure you use the right wiring for this guy as well. If you can see that in the shadows. Yeah, so that's the 20, a whole bunch of 15s. So I have it laid out here, so the washroom light. Alright, so that's on one just because I have the space. And then the wiring is just kind of run all through the walls here, just like a normal house. There's the switches. This pendant light is actually plugged in over here. So you can see that that's on there. Lights on. And then down here, so we have that outlet. We have one up in the loft. That's just for charging phones. And then we have one down here, which you can't, let's see. There you go. So that is for the mini fridge. And the mini fridge, it doesn't use as much power as you think. And in the wintertime, if you have frozen stuff, you can just leave that in your car anyways. So that's not really a big deal for us. So there's that lid on. And then the porch lights. So yeah, the only thing I would change with this or update, which I am going to do, is just add another battery or two. And that's just so that the winter time you don't really have to worry about running out of power on cloudy days. As you can see, today is a nice sunny one. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions about this, feel free to let me know, and I'll see you later.